Currently, Rezero Season 3 is coming under scrutiny, and that's due to some of the content which will be present in Season 3 of the anime, and there has been a lot of traction on places like Twitter and forums like Reddit and MyAnimeList that are criticizing the show for the sexualization of certain characters. And in this video, I'll be talking about why Rezero is getting cancelled. If you're a web novel reader, then you will obviously know what I'm talking about, but for many of you who are anime only people, that's fine, because I'm going to explain why exactly is Season 3 under fire, and that's due to the sexualization of certain characters and the appearance of other characters, which I'll talk about in a bit. Now, if you're a Rezero anime watcher, you might be thinking to yourself, sexualization of characters? What's going on here? This isn't Kiss Sis, this isn't High School DxD, this isn't, you know, a certain magical index. What are you talking about? Rezero doesn't have fan service at all. What are you talking about? However, if you're a person that watches my live streams, or you're actually interested, there's actually quite a lot of fan service in the manga, light novel, and web novel of Rezero. And in the future, I'll be making a video sort of compiling it. So if you want to see all of the fan service in Rezero, where you see characters' underwear and stuff like that, feel free to subscribe, because I'm going to be making a video on that. So let's actually go to the issue and why there is all of this drama, and this begins with the sort of unneeded sexualization of characters. And the first character in question is a question called Liliana, and this character can be seen on screen now. As you can tell, she's an extremely petite woman. She's like 20 or 21 years old. She carries a sort of musical instrument, and as you can imagine, she plays music and she sings. However, most of you can already see where this is going, where she is, of course, looks like a little child, right? And she's wearing very provocative clothing. And this is one of the reasons why people are starting to argue on Twitter and MyAnimeList, and people are believing that she will be censored or redesigned for the anime. Now, one of the most interesting pieces of information is the fact that Liliana has already met Subaru and the rest of the cast before. In the 1 month time gap between Arc 2 and Arc 3, so after Subaru saves Ramen from the Witch Beasts, it takes around 1 month or 2 months before they go to the royal selection, for the royal selection to take place. So Liliana has already went to the Roswell Mansion to sing for Subaru and the rest of them. So she has been introduced in a side story, but most of you may not have read that yet. However, that's not all. It's the fact that Liliana is sometimes put in pretty sexualized situations. So on screen you can see an illustration which occurs in Season 3 where Priscilla is changing clothes, and I had to censor it because it's actually pretty bad. You know, Priscilla is pretty much naked. You can see her underwear. You can see like a sort of bulge where her panties are. Liliana's like drooling. And this is just stuff which was added into the light novel. This was not in the web novel, and when Tappei wrote the light novel, he just added this in for no reason. So when I talk about fan service in Rezero, this is what I'm talking about. And of course, a lot of people, again, go to this idea that sexualizing Liliana is like sexualizing a minor. And again, this is where the controversy is sort of coming from. However, that's not all. It also involves another character known as Capella. Capella, of course, is another new character which is in the trailer for Rezero Season 3, and of course the same sort of criticism comes with this character, because Capella, which you can see from the Rezero Season 3 preview poster, is in the top right hand corner, and she is again what you would call a lolly, and again she is wearing pretty much no clothing, and there's even a shot in the preview where she's like holding onto her like panties, like the panty strap. And as you can see, she's wearing like a bikini top, and it's pretty sexualized. So again, this is getting Rezero attacked by a lot of people, which, funnily enough, by the way, Mushoku Tensei fans are attacking Rezero for this. I don't get it, but it's a thing apparently. Most of you by now that have watched Rezero have realized that there's quite a lot of lolly characters in the series. In fact, there's even a rumor that Subaru is a lolly mancer. That's like a nickname he gets. There's quite a lot of lollies in the series, and some of them are obviously sexualized. So some people are wondering, why does Tappei keep introducing these lolly-like characters who eventually come to like Subaru? And again, of course, we have Beatrice, and of course you have Petra, you have Felt, and you have a few more characters which are spoilers to mention, so I'm not going to mention them. But then you have the introduction of Liliana and now Capella, who are dressed very provocatively. Another dose of criticism comes from, of course, Shola. So the character in the top left of the poster is a girl that wears sort of orange and black. And her name is, of course, Shola, and she appears in Arc 6. Similar to some of the Arc 5 character designs, Shola is dressed in, again, a very fan-servicey, provocative manner. And on screen, you'll see what she looks like when you actually remove all of the other characters. And you can see she also, like Capella and Liliana, wears a sort of bikini. And again, is extremely sort of fan servicey. And when I talk about Rezero fan service, again, this is what I'm talking about. And again, this is the reason why Rezero is getting a lot of flack. And again, people are sort of comparing it to stuff like Mishoko Tensei, and you know, you have all these sort of pedophile accusations flying out there. But you get the idea. And of course, people are wondering, why is it that so many female characters are being sexualized when in, of course, Season 1 or Season 2, you didn't really see this. Of course, you then also have another character that appears in Arc 6, a character called Reed. I won't really talk too much about him, but the thing about Reed is that he's pretty weird, and he, we'll just say, sexually harasses people. And again, as you can imagine, this is like a big no-no, and of course, when Reed does appear in Season 3, I can imagine this will be another big controversy. Okay, so again, this is sort of like a culmination of factors which is going to occur during Season 3, and this is the reason why there's a lot of drama happening at the moment. People are trying to cancel Rezero, and there's a lot of discussion, and this is the reason why I sort of mentioned before about this idea of maybe certain characters being censored or things being changed. Now, I understand a lot of people would disagree and be like, no, Tappei won't change the character designs, but again, we've seen this before, and I do feel like something will happen. For example, Priscilla changing in the clothing room with Liliana. I feel like that's something that will get cut out. I don't feel like that will be in the anime. And again, if you think back to Season 1, when Subaru was shouting at Emilia in like episode 13 or episode 14 of Season 1, there was a lot of backlash then. Remember, people were calling Subaru a bad character. People were calling Subaru a misogynist, sexist, for being entitled with Emilia and expecting Emilia to like him. And imagine a backlash then, but imagine it now that Rezero is more popular and more widespread when, you know, all of these sexualized young-looking characters appear. So again, let me know your opinion. Do you feel like Rezero will be censored? Do you feel like people will, again, try and bash Rezero into the dirt? Let me know what you think, because I do believe Rezero is going to have a hard time when this crops up in mainstream. It's already picking up steam now, so let's see how it goes. Thank you for watching.